Ooh, what's going on, people? It's your man, the YB, back once again. Big shout out to my doggy, Porter VN1VC, for coming through and boosting up the coin. This this coin boost up is extremely relevant right now. This video is, of course, the Wilder versus Zhang situ, and Broski came through to put the YB on a 20 spot for the YB to gamble this Saturday. Ball, Dubois, and Zhang treble. Let's cut to it then. I ain't gonna lie to you, this press conference here was funny. Obviously Wilder's back with the whole, oh man, even Eddie was jumping on it. Oh man, you know, he the most feared in the division. It's doing the madness. Listen man, I respect Wilder to some extent for his heart, but he finished, is the point I'm making here. How do we know this? Heart. You can make it to Valhalla in any given moment, yeah, but the Valhalla-ness is not in perpetuity. Do you understand? You can make it there one day, and the next day, you like Tyson Fury, right? A bare bum in the shower again. And that's what we saw with Wilder versus Parker. He was washed. Yeah, he looked gun shy. He was like, people, who was it? Someone, Devin Haney's dad, Bill Haney was in the corner. I just watched the highlights back. That's what I've started doing now these times. Ever since Fury Usyk, I've started watching the highlights back. After Fury Usyk, I thought to myself, what was I seeing in Fury? I went back and watched Fury versus Wilder 2, and I was like, oh my god, this guy loose as a goose. He's just a big, ponderous kind of, go, you know, I don't know, myself in particular, I can only comment from my own perspective, but your brain's history is moody, ultimately. Yeah? We all remember Fury beating Wilder up, but when you actually watch it back and look at the technical element, it's not like Crawford versus Spence. Yeah, I went back and watched that again. I thought, maybe I'm just imagining it all. Crawford versus Spence is how I imagined it to be. An arse whooping. Clean. Clinical. Fury versus Wilder, it's like, yeah, Wilder's got no chin. Yeah, Wilder's got no balance. Yeah, Wilder's a basketball player. But Fury wasn't looking all that himself. He was looking leaky. And someone half decent put it on him. And that's what we found, ultimately. Someone with a little bit of... People talk about how Fury can box. Can he though? I'm not sure. He's a bit loose as a goose as well. He's pulling back. He's like all over the place. You rarely see Fury's guard up, if I'm honest. You rarely do. And even when you look at the great fighters who fight split guard, Floyd knows when to put his earmuffs on. Tyson don't. He don't know how to do that. He only put his earmuffs on once in round 9 when he was knocked out. It's too late then. Canelo, earlier in his career, when he'd fight split guard, he knows when to bivol. They know when to, okay, it's time now. Elbows in, chin down. Tyson, same as Wilder. I've never seen Wilder put his guard up. He just like, looking like Stretch Armstrong in there. And that's what's going to get Wilder's ass got this weekend. Zhang, he may have conditioning problems, but what Zhang versus Parker? Again, I've just watched that back. Zhang versus Parker, yeah. Yeah, Zhang's tired, but he's tight. Zhang's tired like this. And I'm backing people out from now on. I'm backing the fundamentals. Yeah, Zhang's slow, but Wilder's slow. Once he runs out of gas, and to be honest, even in the Parker fight, was he quick? I don't know. Was he quick? Parker's pretty quick to be fair, but Zhang he's tight. And he's not slow in the early rounds. And he can actually bang. That's the difference. Yeah, Wilder on a bad night don't stop no one. Wilder didn't stop Bermane Stiverne. Wilder never stopped Fury once. Wilder never stopped Joe Parker. Or never knocked down Parker. Never knocked down Parker. Never knocked down Fury. Never knocked down Bermane Stiverne on a bad night. Zhang on a bad night, he popped Hrgovic's cherry. He popped Joe Parker's cherry. He knocked Joe Joyce's ass out. So Zhang's actually the big bang, if I'm honest. Plus the weight as well. Wilder's going to come in there, 210? In fact, you know what? Let's see if the weigh-ins have concluded here. Of course, you best believe it. We've got the Betfair exchange up right now. Wilder box rec. Let's see if the weigh-ins are in. This will be intriguing. I bet the internet don't moody me off. Let's have a quick peek right now. Let's see what the weigh-ins are saying. I hope they've weighed. They must have weighed in. It's Friday night already. They normally have about 36 hours. Oh, they haven't weighed in. What the blow-all? What is this? How have they not weighed in, people? It's pissing me off. When is the fight? Is it tomorrow? It must be tomorrow, yeah. I don't know what the weight... They ain't weighed in yet, ultimately, so we can't talk about the weight, unfortunately, on this one. But either way, we know Zhang going to come in. Well, tell a lie. The weight is important here, to some extent. Zhang, Wilder in his last few fights, has been 213, 214. It's crazy, really, how he's dropped off. But look at Zhang. Zhang's been creeping. Look at this. Zhang was 250. He went to 290. This is ridiculous, people. Ridiculous. For a 36-year-old man to put 30 pounds on, it's just laziness. It's not strategy, it's laziness. And he actually looked bulbous in that Parker fight. He actually looked like, oh, he ain't been training kind of thing. Not a good look. The first Joyce fight, he looked okay. Because look, he's around 275. 275, he's around there. Then he jumps to 290, puts another 10 pounds on. He already wasn't lean at 275. And earlier in his career, he was 255. People were saying, oh, he was sick then. But look, he's 250. When Zhang's 30 odd, Zhang was still 32 here. I'm sorry, people. Athletically speaking, yeah, a 32-year-old man, he is who he is at that point. So if you're 32 and you're weighing 255, that's probably your weight. Or 260. It damn sure ain't 275, 285. So I'd like to see Zhang really 275 at the most. Because he did look slower in the Parker fight as well. In that Joe Joyce fight, the first one in particular, he was pinging. There's a trade-off. Being too big, especially for someone with cardio issues. Although, Zhang had bad cardio. Zhang went life and death with this guy, look. He had almost a draw against Jerry Forrest, who's kind of a semi-journeyman. And he was at 255. People were saying, oh, his heart was bad. So, even when Zhang's lean-ish, even when Zhang's 25 pounds, or how many pounds? 35 pounds lighter, he still went out of gas. He was literally hanging in that fight. So, there's no telling about this guy. There's no telling with this guy. But for my kind of, the way I like doing things, I'd rather see him 275 or below. Having an extra 15 pounds isn't going to make a difference to Wilder. If anything, it'll make Zhang more of a hittable target, more ponderous. He does need to have, especially in the early rounds. After round 6, Wilder's gassed anyway. He's going to be just all over the place, loose as a goose. But in the early rounds, Zhang needs to have his head on a swivel. The only risk here is the right hand. Wilder ain't going to knock you out of a lead hook. It's going to come from the right hand. So someone like Zhang, who's well schooled in boxing, yeah, you can keep an eye out for that, right? You can keep focused on it. Not being funny, but Bermain Stavern fought a prime Wilder, 10 years ago, and he didn't get knocked down. Luis Ortiz, 50, 60-year-old Luis Ortiz, he was boxing Wilder's head off, right? And Ortiz ain't no Zhang. That's what I know for a fact. Zhang's got a better chin than Ortiz, he's younger than Ortiz, and he can box better than Ortiz. And he can punch better than Ortiz. Ortiz ain't never beat no one up, truth be known. Andy Ruiz he gets in there with, can't do nothing. He's the one getting put down 4 times. So, Wilder's resume, he can't fight boxers. Tyson Fury isn't the most clinical boxer. And he was finding holes in Wilder. Zhang is much more clinical. He punches a lot harder than Fury, has a much better chin. Is he as slick? Well, I don't know. Fury's been caught in every Wilder fight, right? The first fight he gets caught twice. Mr. Slick gets caught twice. The third fight gets caught twice. So is he that slick? Usyk clips him, right? Fury get any half decent dude Fury fights, he gets clipped. Ngannou clips him. So this whole myth about Fury being slick, okay, the joke's on me because I gambled on him, but looking back now and watching the footage, he ain't slick. He just ain't. That's what he's not. He was slick in the Vlad fight, but who was he fighting? A robot. Yeah? El Robotique. And do you understand? When you fight El Robotique, you may look slick. When you're in there with someone like who can do something, all of a sudden you get clipped everywhere. You're getting caught in every fight. Mr. Slick himself. Yeah? So Zhang going to be too big, too strong in this one. And too much boxing IQ. Wilder doesn't know how to put his elbows in and put his chin down. He's like this. It's like when he defends. When Wilder ends up on the back foot, watch it. He's like this. Stretch Armstrong looking ass. And Zhang going to be in there. Boop. That's backhand. That straight backhand. But what's possible is that they end up exchanging backhands. If Wilder comes in on point, i.e. mentally speaking, and he's ready to sling it, that's the risk here. The risk is somehow Zhang gets his off and Wilder... But... It's possible, isn't it? But not... Listen, look at the odds, people. Yeah? Like my dog, he said here, look, he put in the YB on here, and ain't gonna lie, I was going to put $20 on anyway, but I might even have to double it up now. Because my doggy Porter come through and boost at the YB coin, so I might have to double down and go put 40 on. Because I'm fixing to get back on this week. Yeah, Fury I'm down bad with Fury. Fury made me fall off. Big fall off. That Fury was meant to be the next, right? I was telling you, man, this one here is a Bernie Madoff. It's a big Ponzi scheme. Double your money. 100% no 100% no refunds. This is something similar. You put a tenner on Zhang, you get 17.50 back. Almost double, right? I like them odds. Who is Wilder finish, people? Apart from Louis' old tees. Who? And even then it was like round 7, right? And Wilder had tough times in there. I think both of the Ortiz fights were like round 7 and round 9 or something like that. So it's not like Wilder's this devastating puncher early in the fight against someone decent. The Fury fights, it was all late in the game. The Ortiz fights was later in the game. The Parker fight, he got punched up. Let's have a look at Ortiz here. Ortiz, what round was it? Round 7 and round 10. So yeah, the latter fight. I guess the argument is though, YB, he's dangerous later in the fight, where Zhang isn't so much dangerous. But in my opinion, this was Wilder's prime. This was before his cherry got popped. In that Joe Parker fight, he was cautious. He knows he's poppable. When a man, believes, Wilder would have told you back in these times, these fights here, around the first Luis Ortiz fight and the first Tyson Fury fight, he'd have told you that he's ordained by God and shots, no evil against him shall prosper. He'd have believed, like them cats in Africa, what they called it, Africa war generals, warlords, they say things like, there was a cat called General Butt Naked, and he'd go, I think he was on down low, I think he was on some mad kind of Jimmy Savile thing, to be fair, but putting that to one side, he'd make all of his troop go out there butt naked, and then obviously it had some next mad mystical thing going on, and he believed if he was butt naked, the bullets would bounce off. It's obviously a madness, but the point is, it's a mindset. You can sling your hand when you think in that way. Once you've been clipped, once Tyson Fury, a man who can't punch, who's sloppy himself, pops your chops for you twice, all of a sudden you second guessing. And Zhang, he ain't playing like that. Zhang gonna come in there, you're gonna be tight, and that his left hand, even if they exchange backhands, Zhang's gonna get to the target first. Zhang ain't dropping it to his hip and slinging it. Zhang's all here. His shots really, I watched the fight back with Joseph Parker, the knockdowns. You don't even see them. Same as Joe Joyce. You don't see Zhang. Zhang doesn't wind his shots up. They're clinical. But they've got huge snap in them. They almost look, honestly, Zhang's punches and Usyk's punches are very similar. Usyk punches more in bunches, but they're kind of, technically speaking, they're not what you'd consider to be big power shots. That makes sense. He doesn't over leverage them and he just kind of pushes them out. His backhand looks like a push out shot. He's not ringing it over and turning it into half an overhand. He's just like, boop, and it clips someone and it's quick and it clips them. So if they exchange right hands, Wilder's going to get hit first and then he's going to be over for him. That's what I see happening. Wilder's got no combination. He's got a backhand. And if you're there and you're not pressing him and you let him kind of plant his basketball legs, and maybe you get caught, maybe. And even then, like I said, Bermane-Stiverne, he couldn't do nothing. Fury, he couldn't do nothing. Parker, he couldn't do nothing. There's a theme here. Anyone who's not 60-year-old Luis Ortiz beats him, / he can't do nothing with. All his magical power, the most powerful boxer of all time. Really, who's he stopped? Luis Ortiz, that's all you can say. Yeah, I'm sorry, you don't get to be known as the biggest puncher in all the history of sport by knocking over a dude who's 60 plus. That's what you can't do. Every big moment, Joe Parker. Bermane-Stiverne won. Yes, he won the Bermane-Stiverne fight, but the point is, he didn't knock him out. Every big moment, Fury, I guess you could say Ortiz was kind of a big moment, but what's Ortiz done? What's Ortiz done? Ortiz known for getting punched up by Andy Ruiz and getting punched up by Wilder. That's his claim to fame. Bottom line. Yeah? If your claim to fame is losing to Wilder and losing to Andy Ruiz, and you ain't someone like that. Bermane-Stiverne was a champion. Wilder couldn't do nothing. Fury champion-ish. Can't do nothing. Joe Parker champion-esque. Can't do nothing. So Zhang, he's of that ilk. He's of the Joe Parker. Even then, he popped Joe Parker cherry for him. Not popped his cherry, but he had him on the mat. Heavy-handed Zhang is and quick. The only question here, if Zhang could do 6 rounds for 12, there'd be no question. The odds would be 10-1 for Wilder. It's if Zhang falls off and he's a sitting duck, which can happen. In that Parker fight, he was a sitting duck, looking like he all bent out of shape. Wilder does seem to have more consistency, and less he's getting punched up. Wilder had a similar low level of energy throughout the Parker fight. But when Wilder's getting pressed here, when he was getting pressed by Fury in 2 and 3, he unravels quickly. And Zhang, he's going to be on him. And the weight as well. I'm not even sure Wilder coming in, 215 here. In his last fight, he was 213. The fight before that, 215. If he comes in 215 again and Zhang's in there 275, I know weight doesn't matter, but it's like another weight division, super heavyweight. And what happens when a guy goes up to another weight division? The shots bounce off. Canelo's shots were bouncing off Bivol. And this is like that. Potentially, Wilder's right hand, which is already sceptical in my opinion, it's already out to the jury whether or not he actually can punch. He's now going in there with a super heavyweight, which reduces his impact even more so. The truth is, he might get his right hand off, the best right hand, and it might just bounce off. That's how I feel with Zhang. It might just, he can't punch. It's all fake news. That's a reality here. So yeah, I'm putting, well, for sure. What win over factors, I ain't going to tell you, man, I'm putting 40 on. I'm definitely putting 20 on, for sure. 20 on now as we speak, on Zhang. Let's have a look at the 6-round thing. See, that's interesting. The fight to go the distance, you put a tenner on, you get £38 back. That's not bad, is it? If it goes 12 rounds. Okay, obviously, everyone thinks it's not going 12. I want to see what rounds 1 to 6 are. Is there any here? Grouped round betting. Zhang. Ooh. I don't know. Yeah, I don't like doing the special parlay bets, if I'm honest, because it's so hard to get right. It could be right. It could be Zhang 1 to 6. It could also be Zhang 7 to 7. So forget that. All I can think about now is Zhang winning. I can see Zhang clipping him early. I can see Zhang clipping him late. I can see Zhang winning on points. I can't see Wilder winning on points though. That's what I can't see. Can't see Wilder clipping Zhang. I can, but again, I'll explain why I'm skeptical. So it's intriguing though. All I'm really bothered about here is that both men, because Zhang really, I'm trying to think, Zhang hasn't himself actually travelled to Valhalla yet. That's been missing. When he lost to Parker, he didn't travel to Valhalla. He didn't make it to Warriors Paradise. When he fought Hrgovic, he didn't travel to Warriors Paradise. In fact, he's never travelled to Warriors Paradise. And that's a problem for me with Zhang. He gets tired and then don't want to fight no more. That's whack. You big ass. If you want to eat cream cakes, that's fine, but make sure you 100%. Make sure you make the lonely, solemn journey to Valhalla. Fight to win. Don't be in there tired, all sorry for yourself. With your big ass. No one asked you to not train the cardio, did they? Yeah? So Wilder has made it to Valhalla in fights. Not recently though. That could be the difference. If Zhang's out of gas after 6 rounds, yeah, and Wilder's still trying to find a way, he might end up catching Zhang. So Zhang needs to show me something different this time. I heard Zhang's trainer talking. Yeah, it's different this time. I hope so. I really do hope so at 40 years old. I hope Zhang, for once in his career, don't fall off to the gas tank. Especially these days when Zhang has taken, or sent a man to meet his maker. Zhang sent Joe Joyce to meet his maker. The juggernaut. Zhang sent Joe Joyce to meet his maker. And when you do that to a man, I believe it's your obligation. If it's your time, 100%. Give and take. If it's your time to travel to the gates, that's what you're obliged to do to win at this level. These guys making millions. Don't let me see this, people. Neither man, to be quite frank. Don't let me see neither man this weekend lose on points. That's what I ain't trying to see. Yeah? Because Wilder, he been talking. Zhang, he been talking. I'm going to bang. So you best bang then. That's what you best do. Yeah? I don't want to see no like, just clinging in there. No. Go out swinging. Both of these cats. Anyway, let me know your thoughts, people. Smash the like button, subscribe, like off the bell, 100%. No doubt about it. Stop it.